Hello guys, welcome to our channel. My name's Annette.
My name is Yuvia.
And we are
Las
Hermanas,
of
the sisters. And in today's video, going with the theme of Valentine's Day for the month of February, we're going to be talking a little bit about relationships. And little side disclaimer, we are not relationship experts. We do not claim to be. So please always reach out to an expert if you need
professional help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So in the first part of the video, we are going to just kind of talk about Valentine's Day a little bit and what we are doing this year for our Valentines.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the second part, we're going to just kind of discuss a little bit, or not discuss, but share a little bit of our experiences in our past relationships, and this will be good and bad. And then we will also talk about things that we learned from those relationships, because every experience, whether it's good or bad, there's always a learning opportunity there.
Correct. So welcome y'all and join us in our conversation for today.
Yes, and cheers.
Cling. Cheers to y'all. Happy Valentine's Day.
Really good.
Ooh,
The rosé there.
Yeah.
I normally don't like sweet wine that much anymore.
Yeah.
As you grow, your palate changes. So I like wines that just have a little hint of sweetness, but more on the bitter side.
That's what we have. We acquired the fruit here.
Yes.
So we can have that sweet if we want more sweet.
Kind of cleanses the palate too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Valentine's Day. I know it's a holiday that most people probably are like, Valentine's Day, why do we celebrate Valentine's Day? Yeah, you should be letting your loved ones know all year round that you love them, not just buying them stuff, but also saying it. But at the same time, it's nice to at least know that there's this one specific day already once a year that, for sure you're going to be celebrating it, whether it is with a partner, with family, friends, with your children, by yourself. There is nothing wrong with being your own Valentine. I know for a lot of single people, they're like, it's such a dreaded holiday, but it doesn't have to be. Take the opportunity and take yourself out, buy yourself flowers,
Yeah. There's so many things that people do now, single.
Take care of yourself, whether you do your spa day at home or at a facility.
Go to a spa.
Yeah. Leave for the weekend for 2 or 1 day. It doesn't matter. Even if you just go to a hotel, get a hotel that has like a
hot tub and all the works. In there.
Yeah. Relax. You deserve it. Don't wait for somebody to come and buy you flowers or take you out to dinner or trips or whatever. Do it for yourself. Be your own Valentine. Be your own, person. You don't necessarily need someone else.
Yeah. You can also do Galentines.
Yes.
I love Galentines.
Get together with your friends. Again, with family. For us, since we're both single, which is not a bad thing. I'm actually enjoying my singleness right now.
Same.
I love arts and crafts. I know I've mentioned it in the other videos before. So we actually went out and got strawberries and chocolate, and we're gonna make chocolate covered strawberries. I know buying them can become expensive at times, so making them yourself is more economical, and I see it as a good bonding experience, especially if you have children. And then my daughter can go ahead and take some to her friends. We'll help her get her little Valentines together, which I always loved to do since she went to preschool at 3. So
she was always the good. She would go to school giving out them good candies, them good little cards. You know what I'm saying? She always came with the goods. All little kids were like, Adriana.
Right. I'd love to do that, and just because she's a freshman now doesn't mean I still won't do it. Yeah. I've done little baskets for her friends at times when it's their birthdays and stuff.
So if y'all want somebody to make baskets for y'all, hit her up.
I jump on that opportunity. And I could do it from the dollar store too, because I've done it. And people didn't believe that it was all from the dollar store. Got some good stuff in there. Okay. So now on to the second part. We're going to get to the juicy parts.
Juicy.
So on our second part, we're gonna discuss a little bit about our relationship experiences. We're gonna start off with the bad stuff, because like my sister says, it's better to deliver the bad news first and then the good.
And then the good, yeah. I like the bad news first and then the good.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll let her kick off.
All right.
I just sip on this wine.
So, in my whole life, I have had a lot of relationships, but the main 3 that have lasted me long periods of time have been these main 3 that I'm about to talk about. Each of these relationships has lasted me 3 years. It's funny because at this point I'm starting to think,
threes.
yeah, like 3, literally, like it's crazy. But maybe the 4th one is the charm. Okay, so this relationship that I'm about to talk about, the bad, is more recent. This relationship, I feel like, though, was definitely like a eye-opener for me, because I wasn't gonna pretty much settle. And when it started to get kind of like bad, I guess, because it wasn't really bad. I'm not gonna sit here and say like it was so bad. It wasn't bad. It was actually good out of all the relationships I've ever had. It's just we lacked some things, and that's what made us part ways. But we did respect each other. Like, we had respect for each other, which was something that I never had before. So yeah, so what happened with that relationship? Rose's turn.
And she's only had a couple sips.
Okay. So there was a lot of lack of communication due to the fact that my traumas were coming up and my spirituality was at work. Basically, I was going through a lot and I didn't know how to work through my traumas and all that stuff, so I didn't really know how to explain this to her. The lack of communication came in, and she also lacked communication with me because she felt like she couldn't communicate a few things with me because she felt like I was gonna get mad and like my anger issues and stuff like that. So I understand her viewpoint, and I also, have mine. There was no partnership, so like in things that we wanted to do, like they were so different to each other's. We literally didn't watch the same shows. We would never sit down and watch the same things, or like, she would fall asleep, I would be awake. Like, it was just like we were just on different pages literally every single day on just the little things that we did and the big things that we did. We wanted different things out of life. So like for her, I know that she wanted to be a parent, and for me, I don't want to have children. So like at first I did when we first started the relationship, but then I kind of, I don't know, it's just as I'm getting older, like I'm starting to realize that children are just not for me. And I know that that's something that she ultimately wanted out of life. And so like that's something that, she deserves. And I feel like she definitely deserves to have that with somebody else if that's what she wants later on in life, whatever. But I know with me, she wasn't going to have that. So like that was also something that, I looked at. And then we both had our guards up. So I had my guard up from my previous relationship before her, and she had her guard up from her previous relationship. She had been already single for 3 years, but I feel like that energy was still lingering on with her due to the fact that her ex would pop up randomly and stuff. So that was that. Excuse me. The relationship previous to this one, I was married. I got married. This is the one that I got married. I keep mentioning it. Yeah,
the one I forget about.
Yeah, the one that she always forgets about. Everybody doesn't really know, like we said in one of the videos, like I got married and none of my family was there. It was a very like dull moment for me. As we were getting married, I feel like she was crying, but I wasn't in my emotions or anything because I just didn't feel like didn't feel it. Like it was just so weird. Like I was kind of standing there like, why am I doing this? I did it to make her happy. When you think you're in love and you really want to make things work, you will do things for people. You actually try, After we broke up or like we got divorced, like she really was telling me like, you didn't love me and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like the one thing that people have to understand is that just because people end up deciding to move on doesn't mean that they never loved you. Like, they loved you in the moment. They loved you when they were, you know, trying to figure things out on how to love you. Because if they didn't love you, they wouldn't want to figure things out. You know, it's just they came to a realization that it's not going to work. So, you know, there's nothing you can do after that. If you feel like you've given your all, there's nothing you can do, you know? Okay, so with that relationship, we didn't know each other. I moved over there. We only had known each other for a few months, and this was through social media. And I moved to New Mexico, and I literally, like, you know, right away. Because I didn't know her, I didn't know the type of person that she was, like, in real life. She portrayed this, like, really understanding and nice person through the phone. But when I moved over there, I started to learn that that was not true. Now, I'm not saying that she might not be like that now. Maybe at the time that I was with her, she just wasn't in the right mental space, you know? But yeah, she was very possessive, controlling. She was mentally abusive. She would do that like reverse psychology thing on me, where I would sit there and like even question my morals and stuff like that, because she would tell me like, yeah, you're fucked up and you're the one that's wrong and all this stuff. But I had already like done some of my work before I went into this relationship, so I had already kind of like tried to come to terms with myself. And then to have someone tell you like, no, you're wrong, and like you're doing it wrong, like you're not right, like it's just, I don't know, it was really mentally straining for me, or draining. And then yeah, so like with that relationship, it ended because she was very abusive. Like, she had a drinking problem. When she would drink, she would get very angry, and like anything that I would say would set her off. Or like, even if I would like tell her like, I don't want to dance, like I don't want to do this, or like whatever in public, she would just set off, and like she would make this big scene. Like, I remember going to the grocery store, and like I make a lot of facial expressions, and that's normal, you know. Even my sister, like our family does it. It's just like something that we do.
It's uncontrollable.
Yeah, like literally we'll be like, you know, on the grocery store putting our produce in a bag, and like, you know, we'll just be like smiling because remember something. Or I do it randomly, like I don't even have to be thinking of anything. And she saw me, I was actually at the produce section trying to grab me some produce, and there was like a man like standing a few feet away from me, and she turns around and she saw me smiling, and she's like, why the fuck are you smiling? And I was like, what? Like, I didn't even realize that I was doing it. She's like, yeah, you're smiling. Are you smiling at that guy? And she started to get loud, and she was like, what, you want his number? You want to F him? Like, you know, like she was just getting so crazy, and I was just kind of like, no, like I
just got excited about these oranges.
Right? Like, it looked pretty perky. Yeah, like it was just like so crazy to me that someone could go like from 0 to 100, and I hadn't seen that type of energy since my dad. So it was very like eye-opening for me, and I was just kind of like, what the fuck am I doing here? You know, it did take me a while to leave because my circumstances were not in the best place. Like, I was literally like, I didn't work because of the same reason that she would have trust issues and stuff like that. She would cause issues for me in my jobs. Like, she wouldn't go into my job and cause issues, but she would cause issues like with me. Like, she would question me all the time. Like, she would have to go do internships out of town. And if the call would drop, because our apartment wouldn't get like good connection, if the call would drop, she would literally like call me back and be like, who the fuck called you? Like, bro, like literally, you know that we don't have good service here, and you're sitting here like, it was just, it was crazy. It was crazy. And like, she told me once, she's like, I want you to be like my Mexican Barbie housewife type of thing. And I was just like, that's a little crazy, but
right, a very specific Mexican.
Yeah, Mexican, yeah.
Barbie.
I don't think she's ever gonna date a Mexican after me, but because, you know, in the beginning of the relationships, I feel like I'm always very giving and very like, you know, willing. But then once they like show me something that is disrespectful towards me, or like some like violence or like whatever, like I switch the script, flip the script. So like, whatever you give me, I'm gonna give you in return. I know it's a little fucked up, but at the same time, like I go by the golden rule, which is treat others the way you want to be treated. If you treat me a certain way, if you doubt me, I'm gonna start doubting you, because why are you doubting me? If I sit here and tell you like literally my whole life is you, why are you doubting me? You know what I mean? Like, I get it, people have like self-esteem issues and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, like, if I'm here moving states for you, bro, trust and believe I'm not gonna be doing some crazy shit. I'm not a cheater, never been a cheater. I don't condone that type of behavior. So like, don't sit here and disrespect me talking about, oh, why are you cheating on me? Like, no, that goes against my own beliefs. Like, that would be cheating on myself, basically, because that would be disrespecting me, you know?
It's very time consuming.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you have to remember every lie. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't have...
Hold up, what did I tell you?
Let me text my sister. You know, like, it's
like,
just...
where did I say that I was?
Yeah, no.
Like,
it's just too much. That's too much. That's extra shit. That's drama. It'll bring negative energy towards you, and I don't want that. I don't want that shit. I wanted to live a peaceful life, and like, these people just wouldn't, you know, I don't know. I wasn't meant for them, you know? This relationship was when I was super young. I was 17 years old, and I actually moved to Arizona for this person. Not specifically for her, but I moved over there because she was one of the reasons. And then another reason was because I thought I was going to have more opportunity out there. So when I moved out there, we had already been talking for like months. And then when I moved out there, like, she didn't believe that I was going to move out there. But when I did, she was like very surprised. Next thing I know, it's like New Year's, or like a few days. I think it was New Year's. We were having New Year's Day dinner. And that day I had found out that this girl was cheating on me.
Wow.
With somebody else already.
That was fast.
Yeah, already.
That's why she was surprised that you were there.
Yeah.
She was like, oh shit, I got caught up in my lies.
She's like, damn, how am I gonna hide this one?
How do I lie myself out of this one?
Yeah. So like, she cheated on me right then, like right before even we got an opportunity to start our relationship. And then after the fact, like, I forgave her. And I forgave her because I've never been a forgiving person, but I've chosen who to forgive. And when I've chosen who to forgive, that tells you like, I really, really like this person, but clearly
I'm trying to make it work out.
Yeah, I should have just fucking exited out from the first time, you know? So she cheated on me the first time. And then the second time, I think she had like, yeah, she fucking was talking to her ex or whatever, and I caught her on her lie. And then she was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna do it again, blah, blah, blah. And then the third time that the second time I found out, with me and like two other, like, it was a couple of femina stud. They were looking for apartments with me because me and my girlfriend at the time were gonna live with them. So we were gonna roommate, and like, we were looking for apartments. And I had my ex's phone, and she gets a call. And like, when I call the number back, all I remember is hearing, you know, like how you guys used to have like them ringtones pre-recorded, like when they call you and shit. Well, when I call back, I realized that it's the same fucking song that her ex had, because I had previously called her ex to be like, what the fuck, bitch, you know? But yeah, when I realized that, I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, seriously? But this was a whole different girl. It wasn't the first girl that she cheated on me with. So this was her ex from like high school. She had already been out of high school. Wow, she liked to recycle. Yeah. So
what? That's what it's called.
After that, it was just so like suffocating for me, because I didn't have nobody out there, and like, the only person that I had was her. And not only that, but like, her mom also had been a bitch to me. Like, she was fucking a bitch. Like, anything that had to do with me, she always had something to say. And it was just like, what the fuck, lady? Like, how old are you? And you're over here trying to pick a fight with someone that's way younger, naive as fuck. Instead of like helping me and guide me and stuff like that, she's over here worsening my environment, you know? And like, I did everything that I could for this lady to like me, and she just would not like me, which is fine. You know, everybody to each his own.
Everyone's gonna like you.
Yeah, not everybody's gonna like you. So then after I found out that she was like hanging out with her ex and shit like that, you know, her ex was hitting her up. I was like, what the fuck? We had this whole argument or whatever, and then pretty much her friend was the one that told me the last time that she had cheated on me. Because I don't give a fuck if you didn't sleep. Like, if she went to this girl's house and hung out with her and didn't sleep with her, that's still cheating to me because you're lying to me. You're lying to me and you're hanging out with your ex. Like, what the fuck? You know? So, like, she pretty much had gone to, like, her ex's grandpa's funeral or something. And her mom actually took her to her ex's grandpa's funeral because her mom knew the family too. So, like, her mom was also in it. And my ex's friend ended up, like, outing her about it. She's like, yeah, if I only told you, like, all this stuff. I'm like, just fucking tell me, bro. Just tell me. And I could go on my merry way. Like, I don't need to be wasting no fucking time, you know? Mm-hmm. That was it. That was the last straw. And when she told me, I was like, all right, you know, bet. Like, that's really how it's going to be. So, you know, we were young and stupid. There was a lot of lying, cheating, and no deep connection, really. There was no deep connection. Lack of respect. She did not respect me at all. And, you know, once I found out, like, the last time that she was cheating on me, like, I literally pulled up at her job. And I was like, take me to her fucking house because I know you know where she lives. Because she had told me, like, oh, I don't know where she lives. And, like, she moved, whatever. I don't fucking know, right? Trying to lie to me and shit. When I told her to fucking take me to her house, she didn't say shit. She didn't say a word. She knew who the fuck I was talking about. And she just got in the car. She started crying. She was crying on the way there. And I was like, yup. As soon as we pulled up to the house, I was like, it's fucking done. Like, I'm done with this shit. Like, she fucking lied to me. Like, crazy, right? Crazy drama.
I don't even know why they cry.
Right. Like, she had, like, a blood vessel pop the next day or whatever. Or, like, a few days later, I'm like, why are you crying, bro? Like, you did this shit on...
Yeah, like, you did this to yourself. You don't care about the relationship. Exactly. Why are you crying?
Like,
Isn't that what you wanted, for it to be over?
Right.
Not to be in that relationship?
Yeah. And I confronted both of them. And I told them, I was like, this shit that y'all are doing, like, I don't want to be part of it. Like, if y'all really want to be together, be fucking together.
Yeah.
Like, don't be fucking, like, bringing in another person, and because you guys end up hurting somebody else, you know? Like, if y'all really want to ultimately be together, just fucking stay together. Like, don't be fucking hurting anybody else, you know?
That's all that for is there.
Huh? Sorry. It's just, you know, like, it's just the truth, you know? Like, don't do that. And I know that there's people nowadays that still do that shit.
I don't know why. Just be with the person that you want to be with. Like, stop being fucking greedy.
Yeah.
God, see, now you got... But
yeah, those were my bad experiences.
Oh my God, greedy people.
So.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Like, thank you. Like,
I'm so fucking good for your ass. Thank you.
Okay. So for me, I only picked 2 out of the ones that I had because those were the most impactful ones in a negative way, but at the same time in a good way. So the first one, this one was in my early 20s. I was young. A little side note, I didn't start partying until I was like a month away from turning 21. So I was a late bloomer. Not like people who were like, oh my God, I've been partying since I was 16. And be like, what?
Me? Where did it go? Apollo, come get that one.
He's already sleeping. Probably.
Oh shit.
Anyways, so yeah, so I didn't start partying until later. So during this time, like I was, like I said, I was very naive, very vulnerable position. You know, you're barely going out in the party scene. I hadn't seen my friends in years, since I would say like 2 years probably, since we graduated from high school, you know, and they were out there doing stuff, DJ parties, whatnot.
You bet you was there.
You know, so yeah, so I met this person at a vulnerable time in my life, and originally at the beginning I actually did not like this person. They were not somebody that I was like, that you meet and you're like, oh my God, this person is, you know,
for me,
yeah, so good looking or so attractive. Like, I did not care for this person whatsoever. I didn't know who they were, and I honestly didn't care to know them. But in the course of like the partying, the drinking, something changed. I don't know what happened, but you know, we started dating, and after 3 months of us dating, we actually moved in together. So this relationship lasted for about 3 years. But it was a very toxic relationship in the sense that there was a lot of jealousy from both parties. It wasn't just me. They were also a very jealous person. There was no trust, cheating, from like day one, I would say, because I found out about the cheating later at the end of the relationship. And then after the relationship was over, my friends, who were also his friends because they had to stay to the guy code, didn't tell me about all of his cheating until afterwards when we weren't together anymore.
Guy code is bullshit.
And I was like, wow, you guys could have saved me a lot of
heartache.
Yeah, you know, if you would have just told me, but
everything
whatever.
Comes in divine time.
You know, it happened the way that it was supposed to happen. I think we like almost broke up a couple times, but then at the end of the day, like we always just stayed together. You know, I always forgave him, was very forgiving. That relationship did hurt my self-esteem. Before the relationship, I used to like wear dresses and heels all the time. Every time we went out, like we were dressed to the T. Like we
were looking cute.
Yeah. And during the relationship, little by little, I stopped wearing dresses and skirts and would only dress up in pants and long sleeves. You know, I was covered up to here pretty much. And I didn't realize that until the end, which is crazy because you don't realize a lot of things when you're, you know, in the relationship itself. Their mom was also not easy to deal with. He was a single child, so the mom was very overprotective. But this went to the point where if I was already insecure and, you know, worried about my self-esteem and the way that I looked, she made it worse. Because she would be like,
oh, cherry on top.
Like, why are you wearing that? And you should not be wearing that. And you shouldn't be going out without him. Like, if you go out, he has to always be there. But it was okay if he wanted to go out without me, but I couldn't go out without him. And telling me, oh, you need to lose weight because when he goes out and he sees all these younger girls, you know, he's going to leave you for one of them.
Mind you, she was not a very fit person herself.
Slim herself. So, yeah. And because of the depression that started like very severely during this relationship, like I just started eating like all the time. It was like a comfort for me. Plus with the birth control, because I didn't want to have kids, that made it also worse. It was a very codependent relationship, and I feel like I lost faith in myself, and it's a type of relationship where you completely mesh with the other person, which you're not supposed to, because in a relationship you're supposed to retain your own individuality, and you know, they retain their own. But it was basically like we were one person. You know, everywhere we went out, we have to go together, and God forbid that, you know, he went his way and I went my way. But, you know, later on at the end, it kind of started getting a little bit violent. You know, we would be out in parties and with the drinking and everything, he would get angry or I would get mad and then make him mad. And then, you know, things started becoming a little physical and sometimes people had to step in. So that was one of the factors that made me decide to leave that relationship, especially because that triggered me having an anxiety attack, or more like a panic attack. Those are really bad.
It's kind of like they say that a panic attack is similar to a heart attack.
Yeah, but that one I felt like it feels like the walls are just caving in on you and you have no escape. Like, even though there's an exit in the room, you feel like there's no escape for you.
I remember her saying, like, you kind of feel helpless.
Yep, so it was a very, like, wake-up moment for me when that happened. And even after that, you know, they ask you for forgiveness and you kind of want to try it, mostly because me having a child, it's not easy to introduce new people constantly in her life. So I would look at her and I'm like, I would have to start over and this is going to be difficult for her. We've already been 3 years in this. So that was mostly one of the reasons why I would, continue with the relationship. But after that happened, it just didn't sit well with me anymore. And something changed, and little by little, like I think I would say like the last 3 months, I just started going off on my own, and I honestly didn't even care anymore. And it helped me be more independent because it taught me I can do whatever I want, like by myself. I don't need anybody else. If something bad happens, I will figure it out. Like I have the capacity to do so. And so I just took the step and, I left. I was like, this is over for me. And they didn't really fight it because obviously they didn't care. They were already, before the relationship was over, they were already with someone else.
They were already checked out.
So, I mean, good for them, whatever floats their boat. The second
the good one.
It's just like the second one. This one's actually more recent. This was in my late 20s, early 30s. I'm still in my early 30s. So this one wasn't like a legit, like, we're going out, you're my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But it was insinuated. It was like an on and off thing.
It wasn't clear.
Yeah. And it was like, because when you would want clarity, like, are we together? They would be like, oh, well, what do you think we have been doing this whole time? And if like I would go out with my friends or whatever, it was kind of like, oh, my girlfriend should not be going out by herself without me type of deal. But then
very misogynistic.
Yeah.
By the way.
So it was very strange. So this one, like I said, it was 3 years. I would say this has been the most extreme toxic relationship I've ever experienced, primarily because it was very narcissistic. And if you guys have ever experienced a narcissistic person, you know that they're very difficult to get rid of once you decide that you want to, or even if you try.
They will slither their way.
They find ways to like come back into your life. They always want to have a door open with you,
or
even
a window.
If you're not together. You're like, or a window.
Or a pinche ventana.
Yeah, and the relationship is all about them, and they find ways to, whenever you try to make them accountable for the things that they do, they find a way to turn it around and blame it on you. So their behavior is your fault. The way that the relationship is going is your fault. If they're not happy, it is your fault. And you have to fix it.
Even if they do something and then you do the same thing that they did, it's your fault.
And you're wrong, and how dare you do something like that? And
yeah, but it's okay that they did it.
Yeah, and you're such a rotten human being.
Right.
So, and they can be really nasty and mean with their words. You have absolutely, I mean, like I said, if you've been in one, you know. Mm-hmm. If you have not, I pray to God that you don't find a narcissist. Yeah,
ugly experience.
It's very demeaning in the way that they treat you. You're not a person to them. You're just an object. You're just a thing to satisfy whatever need that they have. And your feelings don't matter. And sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, you knew what you were getting yourself into from the beginning. That's why I was, straightforward and blah, blah, blah. But it's like they say one thing and then they act a different way. So, it's just a very...
I think he was bipolar.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, and then it was a very also like gaslighting. I didn't know what that was until this relationship. I'm like, this relationship. So I did lose my sense of self in this relationship, and I actually questioned my sanity at some point. I questioned the fact, am I the crazy one? Or am I, seeing things? Am I inventing stuff in my own mind?
They get in your head.
Yeah, they're just really good at reading people and getting into people's minds.
Aura in your head and like, pass me the bottle. Pass me the bottle.
course I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
do. Yeah, and initially in the beginning, again, I did not like this person when I first met them because they were so arrogant, and I don't like an arrogant person. That's like a bad quality to have. You know, something inside of my whole insides of my body were screaming and telling me like there's something wrong here, but you ignore your gut, which you should not, but I used to at the time. And I'd be like, oh, you know, what's the worst that can happen? A lot of bad stuff did happen. You know, and like I said, it was just, I don't think I've ever felt the way that I felt in that relationship. And it feels like you're in this deep, dark hole, like super deep, that you're never gonna come out.
I don't think I ever saw her like the way that I did when I seen her with this guy. I have my own experience with this guy. Like, that shit was fucking funny to me though.
Yeah, and my friends, you know, that I still keep in touch with till now, like we have been friends like for 8 years now, and they have seen who I am, you know, especially when we're out and about. I'm a very talkative person, I'm very friendly, and they told me that during this time, like they even stopped inviting me to places, and I did kind of notice that they would get together and they wouldn't tell me. And it was because it wasn't because they didn't want to see me, it's because they didn't want me to bring him, because he made me like act different, and they didn't like that. They didn't like seeing me that I was just sitting next to him, I wouldn't really talk to them. And that was because the whole time that we would go out, every single time, all I would think about, like, oh my god, is he having a good time, like, is he okay, like, you know, everything was just thinking about him. And oh my god, what if he doesn't like this, and what if he doesn't like that, and oh my god, what if he doesn't like the food that they made. Like, it was just it was
fucking weird. It was really weird.
Yeah, well, it didn't help that he also comes from a different place of the world, so
yeah, but you know, I guess, you know, he comes from a very misogynistic culture, so I guess I get it. But at the same time, like, him being here, like, you would think that he would kind of adapt to the difference, you know, and be like, all right, like, I want to be different, but no. And then me being gay, we actually had a conversation, like, I had a conversation with him about it. He's just like, I just don't see it, and it's just like, well, it's not for you to see at the end of the day, so I don't care.
Yeah. He was very opinionated, and you know,
for no fucking reason. Like, nobody even would ask him for his opinion. That's the thing.
He would walk with the sense of like, I know everything, and everyone else is beneath me.
Yeah.
Which I did not like. But even though this was really bad and difficult for me to get out, to the point that I actually physically had to move from where I used to live in order to get away from the person.
Yeah.
This actually was the event that triggered my awakening, you know, and got me into looking into spirituality and figuring why I was stuck in this pattern, you know. This helped me realize that I kept sort of ending up with the same person, you know, over and over again. So this opened my eyes to pretty much everything. I broke a lot of cycles, especially the one of codependency, something that I had, you know, kind of a negative trait that I had learned in the first bad relationship. It carried over to this one, and I was able to break it, and then, you know, look into as far as what happened in my childhood to make me unconsciously like look for this, you know, these type of people in relationships, because subconsciously you think that that is what you deserve. So you look for someone that is going to treat you bad because you believe that you deserve to be treated that way.
Right.
And later on, I do want to talk about that kind of stuff, because I read a book on it and let you guys know a little bit more on those things. But yeah, even though it was very bad, I am grateful for that relationship at the same time, because it has brought me to where I am today, and it has made me, I think, in my point of view, I know, I don't want to say like that nothing could ever happen to us, but I do feel in a sense like invincible, because I overcame one of the worst things that could possibly happen in a relationship, and I feel extremely free. Like, you know, those horses that are like the wild horses just roaming free without a care. So
I definitely see a change within her. Like, she used to be very she wanted to be liked by everybody, and now she's in a place where she don't give a fuck. Like, And that's beautiful to see because it's like, finally, you know, like I've been waiting for this side of her to break out because I've always known her to be a strong, like, independent person, like hardworking and stuff like that. So to see her submit to these type of people, it was just kind of like, I don't know, like that's not you, you know?
I wasn't born to be submissive to any man.
No. It's either you gotta take it how she is, or you better fucking leave, because not only does she also carry a very strong personality, but like all of my siblings do too. And when it comes
my
to
daughter,
yeah, when it comes to dating one of us, you're gonna have to deal with all of us. And also my niece. My niece does not.
It's very opinionated.
Yeah, her facial expressions will say it all too.
It's good. So now that we talked a little bit about the bad stuff, we're gonna talk about the good stuff. To take a sip of my wine.
I know, I'm already feeling it. I'm already feeling it. Alright.
Alcohol has been known to kind of raise the temperature in rooms.
Yeah, that is true. Okay. That is true. Alright, so this is what the good that I took from these relationships. And if you guys are going through the same type of stuff that I went through, and you guys just kind of are questioning, like, what can I do, or what good comes out of this, trust me, like, if you follow your heart and your gut instinct, you will end up learning something from these relationships. But the ultimate thing is, like, if they are that toxic, you would have to walk away in order for you to really see the bigger picture.
Never stay with the toxic person.
No.
Ever.
No. Okay, so the good. I learned I could survive anywhere, meaning I wasn't afraid to move to a new place. So me being so young and moving to all these places, like, yeah, I was alone, but then I learned that I didn't need anybody to survive. I could make it anywhere, you know, like if worst comes to worst, I could literally make it anywhere, you know. And that was something that I didn't know about myself. And a lot of people admire now when I tell them my story and stuff like that. Like, they're like, wow, like, you've been pretty much everywhere. And it's like, yeah, I have. Not in the best circumstances, but yes. And they admire the fact that I was able to pull through no matter what. So the other one is I wasn't afraid to invest my all into what I loved. So even though these relationships took a lot of me, I realized that when I love something, I'm willing to put in my whole 100%, which now I'm starting to learn how to, like, steer that type of energy into something else, like maybe a business, or maybe like my YouTube, you know, or our YouTube. So, you know, it's just like I just need to steer that into a different direction, so put my love into something else. So that's also a good thing. Let's see, I endured the good and the bad out of relationships. So meaning, like, you know, I overcame the bad, and the good was good, you know. So like I experienced good things with these people, but I also, like, the bad taught me things. So whether it was good and bad, I still persevered no matter what. So I know that those lessons taught me what I do and don't want. So like now I know, like, in my next relationship, now I know what I do and what I don't want. So it's clear as day. And what I will allow also is, like, if I see a fucking red flag, I'm not gonna ignore that shit. Like, I'm gonna be like, nope, you gotta fucking go. Because at the end of the day, like, my self-love has come at an ultimate high that I'm not gonna let anybody, like, ruin my self-love or any type of good energy that I have going on right now, that I've built for myself. Okay. To not ignore red flags anymore, to not settle, how important stability is for me. So not settling is a big one, because oftentimes, like, we think that, like, because we get so used to being with a person that we'll settle for them, you know, and we'll kind of push away the things that we really want out of a person. And now I'm just, like, kind of like, no, like, I can't settle anymore. Like, it has to be the person that I really fucking truly want, or else it's a dub. Like, I can't put up with people that are just gonna be there for the season. Like, nah, I'm good off that. I want it for everything, you know. Excuse me. And then stability, basically, like, my whole life I've never had stability, and I've always been very I made decisions based off of my emotions when it comes to like my jobs and stuff like that. So now I'm trying to like just be stable with my things and stuff like that. So like I'm trying to rebuild and, you know, restructure. So then that way, whenever something comes my way that is a difficult situation, at least I'll have something to fall back on, or at least I'll still be stable with my foundation. So that's just,
foundation is everything.
Yeah, the foundation is everything. And, you know, I've ultimately like been my backbone. So I've always known that I never needed anybody. So, you know, that's the best part. But yeah, these relationships, you know, they came for a reason and they left. And that's it.
The way they are.
Yeah.
So life is.
Mm-hmm.
So for my good, I actually wrote down the two, because not every relationship is a bad relationship. So you do have some good ones, and they're memorable ones. And for me, like, I choose two of the ones that were good, healthy, and memorable. And they always will be for, I don't know, till the end of days in this lifetime. So the first one, this one's like my early teens. Well, not super teens, like probably when I was 16. Yeah. So
That puppy love.
Yep. That's that first love, the puppy love, my high school sweetheart. You know, we went together everywhere, holding hands all the time. We would talk on the phone for hours at night, fall asleep on the phone. You know, because you're so young, like, you have your parents take you to the movies, and he used to actually buy me stuff every Valentine's Day. One time I remember walking through the high school with this gigantic ass bear that I had to take home. And I used to walk home at the time, and I think we actually walked home together and he carried it, but yeah, it was big. So I always wanted a big bear, and it was like, you know,
lifestyle.
Yeah. It was actually very romantic. I got a lot of poems in this relationship, love letters.
Wow.
This was the relationship that got me into watching anime. We used to do like anime, you know, binge watching, Naruto specifically. Yeah, and you know, this is the first love. This is where you start. This is the relationship that taught me what love is, you know, because before that, I mean, you don't really know what love is until you feel it for another person. So this is, and I'll never forget the day either when I said, you know, I love you to that other person. So everything was very sweet. Obviously, it wasn't extremely perfect because we did have our ups and downs, but overall, it was a very rounded,
genuine.
Yeah, it was a real, genuine love. There was no cheating. There wasn't like, oh, where are you? And I don't trust you. Nothing like that. And the relationship just ended mostly because we had started so young. So, you know, and then the relationship was 4 years. So that was the longest relationship I've had
a long time.
till this day still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I just haven't found the one to last longer than 4 years. But yeah, this is gonna be very significant, especially because, you know, it gave me my child, my only child. You know, she's still the only one, and will probably be the only one. So out of this relationship, it taught me what unconditional love for a child is, you know. So I'll never forget that. My second one, I think this was in my mid-20s. It only lasted a couple of months, but we had been friends for years before we actually started dating. So, you know, the whole thing that they tell you to be friends first and then date because that's, you know, works better. It's true. So we were friends first, and because we were friends first, we were actually sort of like best friends, and we knew each other so well, and we would talk about our current relationships when we were just friends. We never, you know, did anything illegal. Primarily because I cared about that person so much that I didn't want to make them do something that they would regret or turn them into a cheater. You know, I respected them. I had so much respect for them to that level where I did not want to ruin their relationship. You know, there came a time where I think we had been friends for a good 2 years or so, and we actually had a talk and we decided, you know, maybe we should not be friends right now because we started developing feelings for each other. And neither one of us wanted to be disrespectful to the person that we were with, you know, and cheat. So we amicably were like, you know what, let's just not be friends.
Part ways.
Yeah. And we didn't see each other for a year. And then it's funny because when I broke up with the person that I was with, like I think probably like a month or two later, this person found me they added me on Facebook. And I was like, okay, I'm like, whatever, you know, I'll add them back. And she told me, she's like, yeah, you know, I purposely looked for you because I wanted to talk to you again and I wanted to see you, and I actually, you know. I was like, creep. I'm just kidding. So it was kind of nice, the fact that they remembered, you know, that from before and actually looked for me because they wanted to see me and talk to me. Yeah, and I was the one that asked them to be my girlfriend, which is a very big deal for me because most of the time everyone else had asked me to be their girlfriend. But, you know, with my palms all sweaty, I got the courage. I was not drunk. I was very sober when I did this. Okay. And I asked them if they wanted to be my girlfriend, and I was like, fuck, they're probably going to say no, you know. And they're like, yeah, you know, sure. And I had little butterflies on the inside. So for me, this is, you know, how I described the first one as like the puppy love. This was my second love for me, especially because I already loved her before we even started dating, because I loved her when we were friends. You know, I loved her as a person, as a human being.
Her looks, everything.
Yeah, like how she was, like her aura, her personality, like she just had this light about her that when she came into a room, it would just lit up, you know.
That bitch was always smiling too.
Yeah.
She literally was like all smiles all the fucking time.
It was like at first sight. Because when I first saw her, I remember telling my sister, we were at a party, and I remember telling her, like, because somebody once asked me the question, like, who's your dream girl? What would your dream girl be? And at the time, I'm like, you know what? I don't know. And we were just at a party, you know, randomly, and I look, and then I just see her, and she was smiling and laughing and stuff. And I turned to my sister, and I said, that's it. That's my dream girl right there. And she just started cranking up, you know, but she came through. She came through.
I knew who she was.
She got the number.
Yeah, I was like,
from me.
You want her number? And she was like,
I got
yeah.
you.
I was like, all right, I got you. So I went over there. I was like, hey, bitch, let me get your number. Obviously, I didn't say bitch. I said her name, but I'm not going to say her name on here. So
I was like, hey, female, girl, person.
Yeah.
We don't know what.
I was all happy because, you know, this was the first time that my sister showed like her little gay side. So I was all like, yeah.
I had always, I have never in my entire life since, you know, I can remember ever been straight. Just, yeah. I always thought that there was something wrong with me because I had all these weird, you know, out there thoughts that other kids didn't ever. So, especially in high school.
But this to me was like, yeah, I'm like legit. Like, and I was like, all right, let's make you legit.
Closet.
Yeah, like she came out of the closet and I was like there, you know, so it was like a really big moment.
Yeah, and it's funny because so I actually, and going back to the first bad relationship that I had, that I mentioned that I didn't like that person and I didn't care for them, it was because I had seen her, you know, at the parties. And I was like, that's the person that I want. But then I found out that they were in a relationship, and, you know, I was heartbroken. So that's why I gave that person number one a chance. Yeah. So that's what happened there.
If not, then she would have gone
with that person.
Yeah.
So being in a relationship with her showed me that there is good people out there. You know, I trusted her, and my trust for her was so deep to the point that we were at a get-together once, and I was with her, I was sitting on her lap, and this girl comes up to her in front of my face, like is hitting on her, you know, and she respectfully told her, like, you know what, I'm with my girlfriend right now. You know, like, can you just, you know, leave us alone? So she always stood up for me, whether I was there or was not there.
Gave her her place.
Yeah. So I, obviously, you know, she taught me that you can trust somebody, that there is people out there who are caring, who are loving. It taught me what selflessness is, because I couldn't be selfish with her, even though I really wanted to. And I'll let you guys know in a little bit why. She taught me that it's okay to be vulnerable, you know, that it's okay for you to open up to someone else, and that you don't always have to have everything figured out, and it's okay for you to look for a leaning shoulder on somebody. I'm gonna cry. I'm just kidding. Yeah, and I'm always gonna have love for her. I'm always gonna love her, whether it doesn't matter where that person is or where I'm at. And the reason why it ended was because they still felt like there was something unfinished with their previous partner, which is understandable because they had been with that person for a while. And sometimes, you know, you kind of have to, if there's a what if, for me is like, it's better for you to find out than to continuously think about what if.
Yeah, do the what ifs, yeah.
You know, so when we talked about that, then I was like, you know what, like, as much as it's gonna hurt me, like, to let you go, like, I'm gonna let you go and figure out if that's the person that's meant for you, because I wouldn't want to be the one to stand in the way of maybe your forever love. You know, and all I ever wanted was for her to be happy.
That's love right there. That's fucking love right there.
So it hurt, yeah. And I'm not a crier, and my sister can tell you that.
Yeah.
You know, other people have seen me cry, but she is the one person that I have never let her see me cry. Not because I wanted to be like, oh, you know, I'm super strong, but because I didn't want her to feel guilty for the decision that she was making, and I didn't want her to feel sorry for me. So I held it in the whole time until, you know, she got off the car, and then I saw her walk away into the sunset. I'm just kidding. I wasn't like
so corny.
She's walked back inside her house. You know, the only regret that I have about that is that I wish that we could have stayed friends, because she was a really good friend to me, like she always was. But you know, things happen for a reason, and I'm always gonna wish her well. I hope, you know, that she's extremely happy wherever she's at.
Things happen for a reason. People come for a season.
You know, sometimes you're meant to split ways and grow off individually on your own and come into your own person. And, you know, if they turn up in the future, great. And if they don't, that's good too.
Namaste.
There are other lives. This is not, you know, this is just one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's me. But, you know, about relationships, I've learned everything that she learned, that she said earlier. She summed it up for the both of us.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, overall, love is a tricky thing, you know, when it comes to us humans. And
love is an open door.
Yeah, I know, like, before when I was younger, I really had the idea that love was unconditional and that love was non-judgmental. And, you know, regardless of the fact that if, like, they cheated on me or they would leave me for their exes and stuff like that, like, it was for a reason. And, like, I never really judged people. Yeah, I would get pissed off in the moment because I felt disrespected. But then later on, I was just kind of like, I understood that, you know, we weren't meant for each other. And that's just how it had to be. But I think that love, you know, that you love someone. And, you know, you could love a lot of people, you know, like you could love everyone just in general. Like,
you can have multiple loves.
Yeah. And like, for me, it was like, if you are happiest with that other person, by all means, you know, like, then that means that my door is open and I get to find the love of my life and who really loves me for me, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, like everything. Because I feel like everybody that I've shown my ugly side to unintentionally, they've said that it's too much. My baggage is too much. And like, I get it. Not everybody is willing to put up with someone that comes with a lot of baggage and a lot of trauma and stuff like that.
But a little tip right here before you go on, like for the right person, you won't be too much. There won't be such a term. You know, the right person will be right for you with everything that you have.
And we'll be patient.
So there is no such thing as too much for the right person.
They'll be patient, they'll be kind, they won't boast, or however that says in the Bible.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just don't lose hope if you end up breaking up with someone that you really loved. It just says to you that relationship, even though you really love that person showed you was meant to be there to show you something. And then you take that.
It was a learning opportunity.
Yeah. And you get excited to see who's next, you know, like, you know, I'm not saying that like date
go from
constantly, but like, you know,
take some time after each relationship.
Yeah.
Like for us right now, you know, I've been officially single for a year and now it's going into, you know, 2 years. I actually enjoy like just being with myself, like being able to just sit with myself, you know, meditate or whatever, or you know, have a lazy day. I don't have to explain myself to anybody or
why didn't you text me back?
You know. So I like where I'm at right now and being able to have that time to just discover who I am as an individual. So when that person comes along, you know, you don't lose yourself in that person again because you'll be secure in who you are.
Yep.
You know, and even if that person doesn't come, that's fine. You know, I'll still enjoy life. You know, I'm excited about the possibilities because now I have, I don't want to say just thousands, but I have millions of possibilities. I'm not attached to anyone or any one thing or any place. Like I can decide to, you know, one day I wake up and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna pack up everything and move to, I don't know, Alaska if I wanted to.
Yep.
I'm not going to because I don't like the cold, but it's just an example, you know, and I can just do it because, you know, I'm free. Like I don't have anything weighing me down right now. Not that a relationship weighs you down because, you know, it shouldn't. A healthy relationship should not, but you know, based on, you know, the past that I've had, like I'm in a really, really good place right now and I really like how things are right now and I'm not looking to change it anytime soon. But you know, if the universe has other plans for me and this person magically appears, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, you know, I'm gonna be single for another 2 years, like and I don't believe in love.
We're not opposed to it.
You know, because it does exist, it's out there, you know, with the right person.
You know,
regardless of who that person is.
Exactly.
And like for us, like me especially this time, because initially, you know, I think it was when I came out of the closet, quote unquote, I considered myself bisexual. Now I've noticed that, you know, that's not a true statement anymore. I'm pansexual, which is you don't care what gender the person is.
You could be attracted to a transgender.
It's all about personality and heart.
Looks, don't be, you know what I'm saying?
Well, but the gender part doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's, you know, who you are.
If they capture her attention, then, you know. And for me, I feel like this last relationship has kind of taught me that they wanted me to be so submissive and like be this like damsel in distress, and like I'm not saying that that's the only relationship that wanted me to be that way. All of my other relationships in the past have wanted me to be that way because I was the femme in the relationship. Like they wanted me to be like the girl and like the damsel in distress and so sensitive and vulnerable and all this stuff. And to be honest with you guys, like maybe I was that in the past, but now I don't feel like I am that. Like I've always felt like I've had more of a masculine energy than a feminine energy. Like I look feminine, but my ultimate personality, like I'm more masculine. Yeah, like people like will tell you like she has such a strong personality, and that I'm gonna take note of that, and I'm gonna take I'm just gonna become more of myself. And like, I feel like now that, you know, nowadays there's so many different like things going on, and like, you know, we call it the alphabet mafia. We're growing and we're expanding and we're learning different things about each other. And I feel like now there's like more of a open range to be whoever the fuck you want, you know. And I needed that in order for myself to come out. And like, that's why I am dressed the way that I am right now, is because I'm so tired of living in this, like,
you have to be in this box, you know.
Yeah, because people put me there. People ultimately put me into this box. They wanted me to be, like, I wanted to get tattoos on my face or like shave my head, and they're like, you're too pretty for that, and you're too pretty for this, and you're too pretty for. It's like, I fucking got tired of that shit, honestly. I got tired of like my partners telling me like, no, don't cut your hair. Your hair is like, I want it long, and I want it to be black, and I want it to this, and I want it to that. I want you to look like this, and I want you to have a fat ass. I'm tired of that shit. Like, I'm just fucking tired. I'm done. I'm gonna be myself, and I'm gonna fucking do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And if I attract whoever the fuck I attract, I'm gonna attract them, and that's it. If they're gonna fucking love me, they're gonna love me for who the fuck I am, and it doesn't matter how I dress. You know, like, I'm comfortable this way.
That's the way that it should be. You know.
Yeah.
That's, you know, especially, you know, for everyone out there, just be your ultimate self, and the right person will come along, you know. I also feel like these relationships that, you know, that I went into, like the bad ones, are mostly because I was trying to like be something that I really genuinely wasn't, you know, and I was trying so hard to like be that and be in that box.
Yeah.
It went sideways. It didn't go well. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna be who I am, you know, where I feel comfortable, where I feel at peace, where I feel secure.
Wear whatever the fuck she wants.
Whether people like it or not, it doesn't matter. Like, even if I go on a date, you know, if that person doesn't like me, that's fine. You were not the person for me. You know, there's plenty other people out there. You know, I have so many possibilities.
And also, if I was to be alone for the rest of my life, I'll be fucking okay with that shit. I'll just
the spinster ladies.
Yep, I'll be keeping that in my garden of tomatoes and corn and carrots, and like, I would have a fucking that's my ultimate goal, to have a farm and have like my own garden and shit. But you know, I just feel like, you know, these relationships have really taught me that I need to be myself in order for myself to attract the person that is meant for me. And yeah, so like, here I am. But yeah, and you know, that's what love does to you. And like, there's no greater love than self-love, and I've always said that, and I will always, you know,
we will always preach to self-love.
Self-love is the greatest, because self-love ultimately comes from the greater power, the divine, God, Allah, whatever you want to call it. It comes from that source. And you know, if you love yourself, then you're loving God. Yeah. So
yeah, that's how you honor, you know, the creator.
Yeah.
By loving yourself, because you're a part of, you know, you're a part of the creator. You are love and light. So never forget that. Love is not a bad thing. Love is actually what makes the world go around. It is not money, regardless of what people try to say. It is not money. Money is just a tool. It can buy you so many things and blah, 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 and this and that. I get that. But money is not the ultimate goal in this life. You know, it's love. You know, love for yourself, love for your family, your friends, others, you know.
Everything,
you know, unconditional love.
So this Valentine's Day, remember to not just give love to your partner, but give love to your family members, give love to strangers, because you never know what they're going through, and ultimately you could be that one person that makes their day. So, you know, don't forget to share your love with others, and you know, I hope you all have a happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know in the comment section below, and if you guys want us to talk about other topics, you can go ahead and do so. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your Valentine's Day. with whoever you decide to.
Yeah, whether it's
Choose
kids, family, whatever.
All by yourself. It's
All by
cool.
yourself is cool too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day and a wonderful week. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Thanks for
Love and
joining
light.
us in our
Stay
conversation.
blessed.
Yep, love and light. Rest and be blessed. And see y'all next time.
Yeah.
Bye.